Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. I'm recording live from my office. So this week's video, you'll see the first start of the vibe of my office space. We are starting with my coffee bar because I feel like that was the true inspiration or the one thing that I really wanted within the space. And it kind of creates a trickle effect of how the rest of the space will come together. But before we get into this week's vlog, I do want to say that this portion of the vlog is sponsored by our friends at Yeedi. They went ahead and sent us over a new robot. As you guys know, I already currently have one of their generations of the robots that I call Clay. So this one's going to be called Clay Junior. So let's go ahead and get into today's vlog. So our friends at Yeedi sent us their new Vac 2 Pro to try out, and I can say that I've loved the first one they sent. Once you get the app set up, you can just set a schedule, and that's one less thing you have to think about. The Vac 2 Pro has 3D mapping, plenty of power, and can also mop without getting carpets or rugs wet. It's a true partner in cleaning, and with a 200-minute run time, it's perfect for larger homes. If you're interested in your own robot vacuum, check the link in the description to save up to $200. So with the coffee bar, at first I thought that I wanted something that was going to be a custom piece that was built in, but I really liked our Warwick cabinets, and I thought about it and I was like, you know, this isn't our forever home. Let me go ahead and get something that I can take with me. So these cabinets are the same ones that we have in our bedroom upstairs, but they are in black. And this time around with my office space, I wanted to have white and neutral, so I decided to go ahead and go with a white cabinet. But this white cabinet isn't like a bright white like my walls are extra white within my space. These ones are actually kind of like a creamy off-white, so it really helped to blend in because the walls in the office are a blank canvas, so they're more of a natural, it's more of like a creamy white, I would say, with a hint of beige. So the cabinet really goes with it. So this cabinet isn't something that takes, it's not hard to put together. It only takes one person. Of course, it would go faster with two people, but it's something that you most certainly can tackle on your own. Just follow the directions and make sure that you're going step by step. So now that I finally got that shelf in there, I had put the whole cabinet together. I put the doors on, but I didn't put any handles on it because I knew that I wanted to change the handles that actually came with them. So I purchased these shelves from Target again. They're part of the Threshold collection, and they are 36-inch shelves, and I was just trying to make sure that I measured correctly and that, you know, the area would account for that particular shelf without having too much on the side. Like, I didn't want to make it seem like there was like a huge gap on both sides, so I was just looking and making sure. Also, I was going back and forth with having board and batten in that particular area because there will be some board and batten treatments on the walls, or a couple, well, one of the walls for sure, I know. So I'm just moving the cabinet out of the way. The patchwork or items that you see on the wall are just additional joint compound that we put on there to cover up some blemishes within that area. And I'm using the laser just to see exactly what that spacing is and going out. And I actually measured and cut those battens on my own. I did all of this work for something that we ended up changing ultimately. But I was proud of you, girl, on my skills on the miter saw. So I think this one Matt has actually given to me since he's upgraded and got a larger one. But so I just decided to go ahead and create a border using the board and batten. And I just went around and made sure I had the exact height that I wanted from the floor up into the top of where my coffee or the Keurig was actually going to be, just for the top shelf to rest. So I just wanted to make sure that if I put something on the actual cabinet, that I did have enough room to account for that space. So this is just the bottom board here. But of course, you know, my husband made sure that it was level before I could do anything further. So I did make sure that it was level, and I decided, like I said, to make a border with the board and battens first. And so I just went ahead and put board and battens in each corner. There was one of the battens that had to be shaved down just to account for that wall, because it's not all walls are straight. So sometimes you have to take that into account and be a little quirky with getting exactly what you want. So here I am putting on the top board, and this is me creating like a floating backsplash per se. So yes, when you do move the cabinet, the backsplash kind of just sits there, and I decided that, you know what, this is my home. This is the area that I want, just only for that board and batten to be. And that's what it's ultimately going to be. So of course, making sure that it's level there. Of course, Matt kept giving me that darn level. But of course, you do want to make sure that your everything is straight within your project, because it will throw it off and it'll look a hot mess, and we don't want that. Alright, so this is where we decided to change some things up, and at first we had the board and batten there, and I liked it, but then I was thinking maybe it was just a little too simple. So I went ahead and we changed it up, and I decided, you know what, let's go ahead with Shiplap instead. So again, we still created the border using that board and batten that we had there, and then we put the shiplap inside to create kind of like an inlet for the board and batten, just to give it some more, for the shiplap, just to give it a more finished look and just make it a little bit more fancy. So I'm just putting the shiplap in there, and also the shiplap will kind of help tie in the space when my built-in for my desk comes in. So you guys will see how all of the particular areas within my office come full circle a little bit later on. Alright, so once the shiplap backsplash was installed, it was time to go ahead and install my shelves. So Matt helped me with this portion because, again, I have carpal tunnel, and so anything that requires me to do a lot of twisting and pulling and pushing is not good for my wrist. So he went ahead and put those drywall hooks or screws inside of the drywall for us. So it's very nice to have a handyman. And so he's just putting on that shelf there, but we ended up actually the first time around installing he should not say we, installing the bracket for the shelf upside down. So we did have to go ahead and remove that and flip it around. So again, make sure you read those directions and, you know, install it correctly the first time, but of course we did have additional holes there, but it was okay because the shelf itself was going to cover up those holes. So yeah, so we just went ahead, and once you have the bracket secured to the wall, then you can just essentially slide on that shelf. And I really liked it because it created that nice wood-like tone that I wanted. And again, I really wanted this project to be something that I can do on my own. Again, it's a very DIY beginner project. My husband is very I would say elevated in his DIY skills and me, I'm not really on that level as far as like doing projects exclusively on my own. So I'm trying to get into that. I want to start doing a lot more projects within our house, but again, I have a husband that likes to do those things, so why not? And for me, I like to design spaces, so we work that way. But for my office, I really wanted to take a little pressure off of him and do some projects on my own. So this allowed me to do that, just getting some pre-made shelves that were already there and exactly what I wanted anyway. And then just making everything nice and beautiful. So you'll see plenty of times in this space moving the cabinet in and out because I'm a visual person and I love to see how it's coming together. So I'm putting the first shelf there and I'm like, okay, yes, we need to go ahead with the second shelf. But I also like to put the shelf and the items back in the space so I can visualize how far I want the next shelf to be. So again, here are the threshold shelves. They are 36 inches. I will have everything linked in my LTK page for you guys to purchase if you'd like to create something similar or even maybe create the same space. But again, I'm this time trying to install it on my own, and I think I did a pretty decent job. Matt had a call for work and I got a little impatient, so I decided to go ahead and tackle it on my own.
Starts with us taking the chance, not like anything we've done before. Yeah. Now it's time for something better, and time for us to follow our dreams. No, we can't stay no more. Come run away, don't be afraid, we'll be okay. And I know it's the right thing to do, let's break away. All colors will fade. About time we let things go. Is this our destiny? Just like it was meant to be. Yeah. Come run away.
So one of my favorite times within a project is paint. Paint always makes a space come together, and I absolutely love how it changes the space. I'm not quite sure if I recorded everything, or I might have deleted some of the painting, but I painted the Shiplap a color called whipped cream, and it's just really nice. It's like kind of reminds me of what my home is, which is extra white, but it's a little bit more not as stark. It's similar, but not as stark. It's actually comparable to a color called Chantilly Lace by Benjamin Moore, and I absolutely love that particular color. So it is called whipped cream. All right, guys, so let me know in the comments what you guys think of my amazing coffee bar. I absolutely love it. It most definitely was a labor of love of trying to figure out exactly how the space is going to look, trying to make some last minute changes, because originally the plan was not Shiplap for the backsplash. It was actually going to be board and batten, but last minute Matt made a change and said, hey, let's do Shiplap instead of the board and batten, and it was spot on, and I love it. So really like it. And then it's out of my comfort zone to do gold. As you guys know, I love black, white, and neutrals, so this is totally different for your girl. But I'm loving it. It doesn't mean that I would do it again anywhere else in my home, but in this space, to have it be more flirty, more girly, just more beautiful and welcoming and inviting, and just a place of woosah is right on. So again, let me know. Everything will be linked within my LTK page. I'll go ahead and make sure that I link that in the description so you guys can shop this space as well. I absolutely love this cabinet here. It is, again, the same cabinet that we utilize as nightstands on the side of our bed. And it's a hardwood cabinet, and I absolutely love it. In white, it's beautiful. It's kind of like an off-white, so it went with the space. It wasn't too much of a stark white. And then this white here on the shiplap is called Whipped Cream, and that's by Bayer. And it's actually going to be incorporated in another spot in my office as well that you guys will see later on. But these shelves here I got from Target. And then as well as, I think so this came from Target as well, from the dollar spot area. I think it was like $5. This was from Target as well, it was $10. That came from Amazon. Both the plant and the planter came from IKEA. And then I still have to utilize and put something in here. It's actually a little flute for a flower, and that came from Target as well, and it was $3. So I still had to put a flower in there. And then I got these beautiful little fluted cups from IKEA. They still got the tag on them. I'm gonna take them off. But I love the detailing in there. It's just very nice and feminine and girly. So those are there. And then I got this, Matt got it for me for Valentine's Day from Kirkland's, so I have that there as well. And then I got this tray actually today, still has tag on it, from Target as well. And this is from the Hearth and Hand collection. It says Morning Beautiful, and just everything just goes so well. Just spoke to me, and I absolutely love it. I do have a new Keurig that's coming. I know you guys probably saw it as we were building it. There was one that was here, but I sold it to a neighbor, and so I have a new white one that's slimmer for the space that will go here, but it won't be here until March 8th. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. I absolutely love my office space that's coming to fruition, and Matt has helped so much with it, and I can't wait to show you guys the rest of the office space. And next week we're going to take a break, but we'll be back the following week, and then you guys will see an accent wall and my lounge, just kick it spot within my office. So that'll be the following week. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and I'll see you guys when we come back. Bye guys.